This is the story of how one man took on the biggest factory teams and won at the world's fastest road race. Welcome back to Legends of Road Racing. We're back at Dundrod for this one, and it's the Ulster Grand Prix of 2019, the last Supertwin race with Christian Elkin battling it out all the way with Joe Loughlin. But what even is a Supertwin? Well, to race in this series you'll need a 4-stroke twin-cylinder engine, the bike needs to be sold for general road use, they're generally water-cooled with an engine limit of 650cc. It's really aimed at the new breed of sport bike that you see, like a Yamaha R7 or the Aprilia RS660. Not quite as hardcore as something like the R6, but still a pretty decent sports bike. But here's the crazy bit, they can modify pretty much anything. The frame, the swing arm, suspension, exhaust, brakes, it's all fair game, including the engine. And if you want to go all out, there's this little Italian handmade masterpiece that also qualifies for this category, and as you can see here is pretty much unbeatable in the hands of a certain Michael Dunlop. So how exactly do you take something like a Ninja 650 and turn it into a fire-breathing dragon of a race beast, something like this? Well, as you can imagine, it takes a bit of work. On the engine we need a new throttle body, pistons, conrods, gearbox, valves, camshaft, exhaust and a fancy ECU thingy to tie it all together. But we're only getting started. Let's get rid of the standard brakes and replace it with a lovely set of shiny Brembo calipers, and a new massive disc. Looks a bit like this. Then we get rid of those nasty factory shocks, replace them with a beautiful set of Öhlins up front and a lovely K-Tech rear shock. Now you might be thinking, if all these modifications need to be done to a bike, then how can some guy just show up and show the factory teams how it's done? Well, there's a few things that you need to know about Christian Elkin. He's one of the most experienced short circuit and road racers in the paddock. He's also one of only a handful of people to have ever won at the Northwest 200 on their debut. And I should probably at least mention that he's the owner-operator of Dyno Sensor NI, where they've been tuning road and race bikes for over 2 decades. So if there ever was anybody that could pull something like this off, then it probably is Christian Elkin. But he still had a massive uphill battle against the full resources of the factory teams, and also those beautiful hand-built little Patons, purposely made for races just like this. So then, let's get to the race itself. It's your typical damp day at Dundrod. There's wet patches all over the track, and what I want to bring your attention to first of all is what happens next. As you can see here, this is up the hill towards Deer's Leap. The bikes are flat out here, there's no Paton to be seen anywhere. Then out of nowhere, Joe Loughlin on the Paton just comes flying past third, flying past second, and settles in behind Christian Elkin. The potential of the Paton is clear. You can see how much faster it is, especially when it gets the double slipstream of the 2 bikes that are in front. And Joe Loughlin's not done there. He breezes past Christian Elkin and takes first place in the race. But Christian Elkin isn't beat. Yes, the Paton might be faster in a straight line, however that little Kawasaki can stay with him as long as he's in the slipstream. So what follows then is a race where the first position swaps back and forward 10, 15, 20 times throughout the race itself. And as it happens, Christian Elkin's getting a good view of exactly what's going on with that little Paton, and he's able to find a few little weaknesses in the Paton itself. So basically he needs to just stay with the Paton, not let it get out of slipstream, get ahead of it if he can, but just stay there and with it, because what Christian has noticed is that the Paton isn't very fast out of slow corners, and we're just about to see that right here. After a little slipstream battle back and forth, they come out onto the main straight and Christian's able to get the power down much better than the Paton, and you can see he surges ahead. Now we know that the Paton's the faster bike, we're on the fastest part of the track here, so he doesn't stay ahead for long, but now he knows what he needs to do. Near the end of the lap at Dundrod, there's a slow hairpin called Lindsay hairpin, named after Darren Lindsay. If Christian can position his bike in just the right place for that corner, this is it right here, then he can get the power on early and he might just be able to get past the Paton in what is essentially now a drag race to the finish line. The bikes are side by side, it's all about positioning, and Christian just manages to get the inside of the corner, force the Paton to lift off ever so slightly and get in front. But the drama's not finished there, because a back marker gets in the way just before the last corner of the race. Christian manages to navigate around him and somehow holds off the Paton to cross the finish line just a few thousandths of a second in front of Joe Loughlin. What an amazing victory to beat the Patons, to beat the factory teams at the fastest road race in the world. Christian described just how that victory made him feel on the Commentary Corner podcast.
See when I won the Ulster Grand Prix on the Twin?
Yes.
In like 2019. Honestly, because that was my own bike, it was all my own money, it was everything that we'd done myself at the bike shop, and we beat a Paton.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm getting like, look, my hairs are coming up. That's what it does to me now. Still now, to you know, that's what road racing does to you.